It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning, welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News on this, the 11th day of July, 2022. Coming to you from Forest, Virginia, Central Virginia area, right outside of Lynchburg. Today's top story is Norwegian ship ready to return after the Iceberg incident. Today, folks, is National Slurpee Day. I guess go out and get a Slurpee. Not one of my favorite things. I always found them too sugary for me. But anyway, that's just me. So, today's National Slurpee Day. If you're in a mind, go do that today and enjoy it. All right. Got some cruise ships sailing today from North American ports. In Toronto, we've got the Ocean Navigator, Jacksonville, Carnival, Elation, Port Canaveral, Carnival, Liberty, the Independence of the Seas. Down in West Palm Beach, we've got Margaritaville at Sea Paradise. In Miami, we've got the Norwegian Sky, Carnival Conquest, Freedom of the Seas, and the Carnival Sunrise all sail today. Over in Tampa, we've got the Carnival Paradise sailing, New Orleans, the Carnival Valor, Los Angeles Long Beach, Carnival Radiance, Los Angeles San Pedro, Navigator of the Seas. Up in Seattle's the Quantum of the Seas. Also in Seattle, we've got Nordam land packages starting today. In Vancouver, we've got the Norwegian Jewel Cruise and land packages, the Queen Elizabeth Cruise and the Disney Wonder Cruise. In Anchorage, the Celebrity Millennium land packages, as well as the Royal Princess land package, and Fairbanks the same. Celebrity Millennium and Royal Princess land packages all get underway today. Headlines this morning, other than the Norwegian Sun ready to sail again after the Iceberg. Dual Homeports for Resorts World Cruises. Aidanova, the largest ship ever in Denmark. Princess Cruises Best Alaska Cruise. Volendam to return. Swan Hellenic's SH Vega Christened, and a whole lot more here at 11 this morning on Travel and Cruise Industry News. If you're listening via the podcast, welcome aboard. As always, you can access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcasts from, like iHeartRadio and Podchaser and Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts and Amazon Music, all those places. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and up pops the fat travel guy. All right, now a couple things to mention this morning. Number one, I will make note of the fact that Thursday, at least it's currently scheduled on Thursday, will be the New York Times new podcast called First Persons Edition, featuring yours truly. That's scheduled to be published on Thursday. When I get the link to the podcast, I will, of course, put it up and promote it on this channel. Tomorrow's show will be pre-recorded. It will not be live tomorrow. I will be in the oncologist on the first round of testing since starting the new chemo drug. All in all, I would say that I'm doing very well with the new drug. However, I did wear the green shirt today because it would match my coloration from this weekend, as I tend to be a little green all weekend. Didn't feel all that well, which is why you probably may have noticed that I was unusually quiet all weekend as far as social media is concerned. I was just, I didn't feel real well. I feel sure that's a reaction to the medication. So, feel pretty good today, though. So that's a good thing. All right, I'll be back with today's stories after a word from one of our network sponsors. Like I mentioned, the top story of the day has to do with the Norwegian Sun. You know, I've been on the Norwegian Sun once before. I like the ship a lot. That's just the perfect size ship for me. I'm not the big guy, the big ship guy that a lot of you are. And that reminds me, by the way, also on Thursday, we'll have a special guest, Mark Chillie from Philadelphia. He's a businessman. He's also real big in the scouting world, Boy Scouts of America. Is also a wheelchair user who's just come back from a cruise on Oasis of the Seas, which is, I believe it's his 10th cruise since he got in the chair. And we're going to talk about the accessibility of Oasis of the Seas. Probably compare notes with Freedom of the Seas that I was on at the same time. So that's going to be on Thursday, a special guest Thursday morning. Anyway, back to the Norwegian Sea. Scheduled to resume passenger sailings after striking the iceberg on June the 25th while transiting Hubbard Glacier in Alaska. Immediately after the impact, the ship slowed its speed and adjusted its route to head for inspection in Juneau. That cruise and 2 additional cruises were canceled while the repairs were made. Repairs have now been completed and Norwegian Sun is ready to sail once again. The ship's next scheduled sailing departing Seattle will be on Thursday, and that's going to proceed as planned, so it will sail on the 14th. That voyage is a 7-night round-trip itinerary with scheduled port stops in Icy Strait Point, Juneau, Ketchikan, and Victoria, as well as a day of scenic cruising near Hubbard Glacier, hopefully without hitting another iceberg. The Sun-class vessel struck the iceberg, classified as a growler, a relatively low iceberg of small to moderate size, roughly equivalent to the size of a grand piano to a small pickup truck. Because much of the impact was below the waterline, the extent of the damage was uncertain, and the ship needed proper inspection to certify its condition. The hull was not breached with the impact, and the damage to the vessel was minor, but did require repairs out of an abundance of caution. There were no injuries to guests or crew as a result of the iceberg impact, and onboard services and operations were not affected. After finishing the Alaska season in October, Norwegian Sun will return to Miami, then to New York, and eventually to Lisbon, Portugal, where she will spend the winter offering a variety of European sailings to destinations around Spain, Portugal, Morocco, and the Canary Islands. Well, the Genting Dream Resort World Cruises has announced that it will be the first cruise line to add Kuala Lumpur Homeport for the Genting Dream beginning July the 18th. This offering will be in addition to the Singapore Homeport, which commenced on June the 15th. Resort World Cruises guests can now travel on board for weekly round-trip cruises from Singapore and Kuala Lumpur. One-way cruising between Singapore and Kuala Lumpur, including Penang, is now available, offering complete travel plan flexibility. The dual Homeport option is designed to cater to the demand of its round-trip cruises, targeting the 10 million population residing in central peninsular Malaysia, living within a short drive of Port Klang, the embarkation port. Kuala Lumpur International Airport is conveniently located nearby the new embarkation port, serving international travelers with greater flexibility in the choice of airlines and fares. In addition, travel agents will now have wider offerings for the popular Malaysia and Singapore holiday packages with the one-way and round-trip cruises from both ports of embarkation. With a guest capacity of 5,532, Genting Dream features 18 guest tracks and constructed at the Meyer Werft shipyard in Germany. The vessel offers a variety of accommodations, from interior staterooms, ocean, balcony suites, and luxury accommodation called the Palace. Resort World Cruises has several entertainment opportunities, such as international stage performances and movie screenings at the 1,000-seat capacity Zodiac Theater, a water park at sea, including a pool and 6 water slides, rope courses and zip lines, a rock climbing wall, and additional recreational facilities for the entire family. And of course, the ship was one that was involved with all the bankruptcy crap over there with Genting Hong Kong, and then the owner and business manager were able to buy it back for like 10 cents on the dollar and go right back in business, probably to run it in the ground again. Sad, because that's a really nice ship. So, all right, Princess Cruises has been named the best cruise line for cruises to Alaska for the 3rd time in the 2022 Wave Awards. As part of the Wave Awards, readers of Travel Age West recognize companies, individuals, and destinations in categories that span the cruise, tour operator, airline, hotel and resort, destination, rail, vacation, and travel insurance travel fields. The annual awards give travel advisors of the West U.S. the opportunity to recognize the outstanding qualities and services of the travel supplier partners. Princess Cruises 2023 Princess Cruises 2022 and 23 Alaska seasons includes 6 Medallion class cruise ships, with Discovery Princess, the newest ship of the Princess Fleet, marking her inaugural season as the youngest ship in Alaska this year. Princess offers cruises to Alaska from the following 4 West Coast homeports: Seattle, Vancouver, British Columbia, Anchorage, the Whittier side of it, and San Francisco. Aidanova marks a significant milestone for the port in Denmark and also for AIDA. The AIDA cruise ship arrived in the Danish port with 3,900 passengers and 1,200 crews. For its transit call, guests embarked in the city with shuttles from the port and ventured to excursions to destinations such as Copenhagen. AIDA's 5,200 passenger ship, Aidanova, is the first cruise ship in the world that can operate completely using liquefied natural gas. It has 4 dual fuel hybrid engines, which can use either LNG or traditional fuel oil. So, largest ship to ever sail into Denmark. We've talked about the Volendam a number of times. It's been on a mission of mercy for the last few months. Holland America has reached out to passengers booked on fall sailings of the Volendam to confirm that the ship will end its charter with the Netherlands and the city of Rotterdam and return to cruise travel service in mid-September. The Rotterdam-class ship has been chartered to house Ukrainian refugees since early April. We have confirmed, this is a quote, "We have confirmed that the charter will end September 14th. The letter signed by Holland American Line President Gun and Torkja. He said, in the 10 days following the charter's completion, we will reposition the ship to Italy to Italy, where Volendam will be ready to welcome cruising guests once again. MS Volendam has been housing refugee families from Ukraine since April the 6th and has provided stability for approximately 1,500 refugees since the charter began. The original charter was slated to end at the end of June, but was extended for 10 additional weeks. This delayed the ship's planned return to service, which was supposed to have been on July the 3rd. At the time the charter was originally announced, Antorcha related his humanitarian mission back to the cruise line's founding. The first passenger sailing of Volendam will now be September 24th, a Holy Land and Ancient Kingdoms exploration round trip from Venice. The ship will spend several weeks in the Mediterranean before departing on November the 5th for Fort Lauderdale. MS Volendam will spend the winter sailing in the Caribbean, offering distinctive itineraries that include the Panama Canal, South America, and even Antarctica. And finally, this morning, the naming ceremony for the SH Vega, that's Swan Hellenic's brand new vessel, took place in Helsinki shipyard today with the cruise line CEO Andrea Zito and the shipyard CEO Carl Gustav Rotrich praising the dedication and workmanship of the yard. Patsia Pascalaqua, the wife of Zito and the ship's godmother, described the vessel as wonderful and beautiful before launching the bottle against the helm as part of the traditional naming festivities. Swan Hellenic's second purpose-designed expedition cruise ship set sail from Helsinki to Copenhagen shortly after 3 p.m. local time today as part of a short ceremonial naming day cruise with Captain Tuomo Leskinen at the helm. The vessel will then sail to Norway to commence its first cultural expedition cruise of the Arctic, an 11-day exploration of the Svalbard archipelago, departing Tromsø on July the 20th. The shipyard inaugural season will include the Arctic and Svalbard Peninsula. Have trouble with some of these names, folks. Dave Monk, by the way, is on board, and hopefully we'll have a report from him later in the week about this new expedition ship. All right, that wraps up the news this morning. Again, just to reiterate, Thursday, we got a special guest. We got the New York Times podcast coming out. Hopefully that will be with the old fat travel guy. And tomorrow, there will be no live broadcast. It will be pre-recorded and go live at 11 o'clock. So it will be available at the normal time of 11 o'clock tomorrow, and I will promote the link for you to check out whatever is on tomorrow's show. All right. Over in the chat room, Kenneth's with us. Hi, Kenneth. Mike's here. Good morning, Mike. Hope you're feeling well. I'm feeling a lot better today. Well, I tell you what, I was puny yesterday, though. Wow. Puny Saturday, worse yesterday, but I feel pretty good today. Hot Air's with us. Good morning, everyone. Hot Air wants to know, any idea how quickly you might know if the meds are helping the PSA level when they test your levels again next tomorrow? So it will probably be the day after that I get the results back and see if there's been any adjustment within the week. I'm guessing. That also is going to give us a really good timeline of where it is now after I've started the meds. So we'll have an accurate timeline on the PSA because it's been about a month. So I'm sure it's higher than it was in that interim. So we'll just have to see how high it got. So hopefully I'll know something by Thursday. I hope. No, Wednesday. Hot Air says, I'm thinking the sun was not hot enough to melt the ice. Well, that's probably a very good point. At least didn't melt the iceberg ice. Carol's with us. Hi, Carol. Lizzie's here. Hey, Lizzie. Big hugs to me. Hopefully the med's working well. Well, let's hope. I know tomorrow they've got to do some test on my liver, and there's a couple things that they have to test as we go through with this to make sure it's not causing trouble. So I'll let you know as soon as I know. After going on Morella Discovery 2, I realized an all-size ship. What's that saying? Well, I realized I must be a small-size ship fan. Love them all. Katie's with us. Hi, Katie. Gretchen's here. Nikki's with us. Hi, Nikki. Good crowd this morning. Glad to have all of you with me. Again, I had a quiet weekend. It was nice actually not working this weekend, which I didn't. I mean, I checked the news stories, but quite frankly, I was happy that there wasn't anything major because I didn't really want to do anything anyway. Pretty much took it easy. Unfortunately, we had a rainy, kind of a cool weekend here. So the pool's going to be cold again when I go out and get in it this afternoon. But that happens. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. Again, tomorrow the show will be pre-recorded. It will go live at 11 o'clock, or it'll be on the air at 11 o'clock. It won't be live. It's going to be pre-recorded. But you can check it out then. I'll post the links everywhere, so you'll be able to access it easily. And then when I get home from the doctors, I'll get that turned into the podcast. So the podcast will be possibly a little late getting up tomorrow. In the meantime, that's it for today, guys. I will see everybody back here on Wednesday. And of course, please join me tomorrow for tomorrow's show. All right. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, think about cruising. And hopefully, one day soon, we'll all meet on the high seas. For today, this is Chillie Falls. Later, y'all.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner. Hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.